Hey guys, happy Earth Day. Actually, the real Earth Day was on Wednesday, April 22nd, but we're here together today, so we're going to celebrate today. So you might be wondering, what is Earth Day? So Earth Day is a day, once a year, where we discuss how we can protect the environment and protect the Earth. So a lot of the things that we do during our daily day. So we drive in cars, we take buses, people go on airplanes, people go to the grocery store and buy lots of things that come in packages. There's factories that make things. All of that consumption and all of that productivity, we might think it's a good thing, but for the environment, it's not really a good thing because all of those gases from the cars are going into the air and airplanes go into the air, all the gas from those, all the gas from the factories, all the garbage that we produce, all of that stuff does not make the earth very happy. So we come together once a year. It should be every day, but we come together once a year and we talk about ways that we can take care of the earth to help to conserve some of those resources. So we're not wasting the planet that we have on, because we only have one planet. Okay? So normally if we were at school, we would be doing lots of fun things like having our classes in the dark. We would turn the lights off to conserve energy. We might be having a litterless lunch, meaning you're not allowed to bring any garbage to school. Everything has to come in containers. Or we would go onto the playground and we would pick up all the garbage. Or we would do a community walk and maybe do a scavenger hunt and find all of the beautiful things of the earth that we can see. So we're not together, so we don't get to do that. But Ms. Herman did a little bit of research and I found out that this Earth Day, since the whole world is inside and no one's driving their cars, and restaurants aren't open, and factories aren't open, and airplanes aren't flying, and all of these things, that we've actually done a really good thing for the earth. And the earth is very happy because a lot of the pollution that we had been seeing around the planet has been reduced. So this is maybe the best Earth Day that we could have given the earth, because the earth is happy because it is a lot cleaner. So to show you an example of this, Ms. Herman found some pictures of different cities, so really cities around the world that are really, really, really busy. So they've got tons of people, tons of cars. And this is Milan in Italy. And this is a picture that was taken last year. So all of this gray stuff is pollution. So all of that stuff is from cars and factories and all of the yuckiness that goes up into the air. This is pollution and it causes this gray fog. And that's what people are breathing. I wouldn't want to be breathing that. That would make it really hard to breathe. But they found that since COVID-19, since everybody's inside, all of this fog has gone away. So the air is nice and clean. Here's a picture of New Delhi, India. And this was the picture before. So all of this gray stuff is all from cars and exhaust and buses. And this is what it's like now. In fact, India hasn't seen a blue sky in a really long time, and now they have all of these beautiful blue skies because the air is clean. Here's a picture of Beijing, China. And before, this was all the smog from all the factories and cars and all the yuckiness that was going on and polluting the air. And this is a picture as well. So again, a blue sky, because all of that pollution has gone and it's not happening anymore because the earth has had some time to heal. This is a picture of Venice, Italy. So in Venice, Italy, it's a city and it does have roads, but there are these canals which are kind of like teeny tiny waterways, and that's how people get around. So they ride in boats or they ride in these gondolas, and that's how they travel. So all of that, kind of the motors from the boats and all of the exhaust that's going into the water, if you see, this is the before picture, it makes the water really yucky. And now, since nobody's been traveling, the water's clear and the fish have started to come back, which is really great because fish won't go if it's really polluted. So the fish has started to come back. So all of these things that we've been doing staying inside, although they might not be fun, we've done a huge thing for the planet, and the planet is really happy. So to talk about some of the things that we can do to keep the planet happy, we're going to do a little sorting game. So let me just clean up my board. So I have a picture of a happy earth, because we want the earth to be happy. And I have a picture of a sad earth, which we don't want to do. So we're going to sort some things that either make the earth happy or sad. So what about planting trees? Planting trees. Trees are very important because they give us oxygen. We need oxygen in order to survive. So planting trees makes the earth very, very happy. Because a lot of the times, the trees get cut down because people need to make factories or apartment buildings or all of these things. It's called deforestation. And it's really bad for the planet because then it takes out all of those trees, and we need trees for oxygen. So we need to plant trees. So it's very important that we plant trees. Another one is picking up garbage. By picking up our garbage, the garbage isn't sitting on the ground, and it makes things look prettier, but it also prevents all of that garbage from going into the soil and for sitting on the ground, because the garbage doesn't go anywhere. It's just sitting there, and it's really bad for the environment. So picking up the garbage makes the earth happy. What about water pollution? So we saw that picture from Italy where the boat would cause all the exhaust to go into the water. It makes the water really dirty. So not only does water pollution cause the fish to go away, but it causes the water to be yucky and gross. And water pollution, there's also huge in the ocean, huge areas where people from anywhere in the world, the garbage goes into the ocean, and it kind of swirls around and creates these sections. They're called garbage patches. And they go on for miles, and it's just garbage and garbage and garbage sitting in the ocean. And that's really bad, not only for the ocean itself, but it's bad for all of the animals in the ocean, and it can cause them to, suffocate if plastic goes around their neck or straws go in their nose. So all of that garbage is really, really bad for our oceans and for our water. That makes the earth very sad. What about riding your bike? Does riding your bike cause pollution? No, it doesn't. Riding your bike is really good for the environment. And it's good exercise too. How about littering and not recycling? I know I don't like to see all the garbage on the ground. It's yucky. And the earth doesn't like it as well. The earth doesn't want any of that stuff on the ground. So that makes the earth very sad. What about car exhaust? So all the exhaust that comes out of the cars, and Ms. Herman said, goes up into the air and causes all of that pollution. That makes the earth really, really sad. That's what caused all of that yucky fog that I show you that picture of. Oh, that's the wrong one. These are wrong. Silly Ms. Herman. The next one, turning off lights. This is a really important one that you guys can do at home. So if you're in the room, it's okay to keep the light off. But if you're not in that room, say you're not in the kitchen anymore, turn the lights off. Make sure that we conserve that energy, okay? So that makes the earth happy. And landfills. Landfills are yucky places. So when we throw out our garbage, the garbage has to go somewhere. It doesn't just disappear. So a lot of the time it goes into a landfill. And what a landfill is just a huge mound of garbage. So the garbage trucks go, they dump all the garbage, and then they kind of flatten it down. And once the landfill gets full, then they'll put soil on top and grass will grow. And we'll think, oh, it looks pretty, there's grass there. But underneath that is still lots of garbage, and it's really gross. So we need to help the planet by reducing our garbage consumption. So when we talk about how to reduce our garbage consumption, what could that mean, right? That could mean when you go to the grocery store, you don't get plastic bags. You bring your own bags, because all of those plastic bags, they don't go anywhere. They just sit in the ground, and it's yucky. Or you can buy food that doesn't come with a lot of packaging. So you can buy food that doesn't come in plastic and boxes, because all of that garbage just adds up and adds and adds up. So you can be a bit more aware when you go to the grocery store when you're buying your food. Or you can, maybe not throw things out as much. If you don't like a toy, say, well, give it to somebody else. Don't throw that toy in the garbage, because that toy just makes a lot of more garbage. Same thing with your clothing. You can give your clothing to your brothers and sisters or to another family member so that we can reuse. So by reusing, we're not creating more garbage. So the next one is just what we talked about, reusing bags. So when you go to the grocery store, bring your own bags with you. That way you're not taking the plastic and you're not creating that garbage. So that makes the world happy. And recycling. These are the blue bins that we have at school. And those things that we talk about things that we can recycle. We can recycle paper, and we can clear plastic and glass. And those things will go to, not to the landfill, they go to a separate plant where they're actually broken down and they're reused again. So when we recycle glass, that glass is broken down and melted and it's made into new bottles. So it's reusing the materials so that it's not creating so much waste. So recycling is actually really, really important. Factories. We have factories in Hamilton. You've probably seen some of them. And they create a lot of pollution that goes up into the air, which makes it hard to breathe, which makes the air really yucky. So although we need them because they do create things, they produce things, they're making things in factories, but they're not very good for the environment. So by factories and things being shut down this past month and a half, it's actually made the air a lot better, like we discussed. And the last thing are oil spills. So oil spills would happen if like a boat or a tanker out on the ocean, they have oil inside them. And if the oil leaks into the water, then that oil, kind of yucky and greasy, sits on top of the water and it affects the birds and it affects the fish. It affects the quality of the water and it's really, really bad for our oceans. So that's another thing that makes the earth very, very sad. So we're going to put that one here. So some of the things that you could do at home to help the earth, like we discussed, you can, maybe you won't be able to plant a tree, but you could ride your bicycle instead of taking your car. So maybe if you guys, your family are going to Jackson Square, you're just walking to Jackson Square, going to Jackson Square for something fun. Maybe say, you know what, let's walk or let's take a bike instead of driving, because then you're not putting that exhaust up into the air. And you can bring reusable bags to the grocery store. And you can do your recycling. So if something can be recycled, put it in the recycle bin. Don't throw it in the garbage. You can also turn off lights. So if you're not in the room, turn the light off. Or you can conserve water by, when you're brushing your teeth, turn the water off. Don't keep the water on while you're brushing your teeth and counting to 20 to get your teeth all cleaned. And then turn the water back on to rinse your mouth out. And same thing when you're taking a shower. Don't take a really long shower because that wastes water. Get in there, clean yourself off, and then get out. Okay, so there's lots of things that you can do at home to help protect the environment and to help the planet. Okay, next thing we're going to do, we're going to do a writing activity. And Miss Herman didn't put this in your homework this time. I forgot. But next time, I'm going to put this in your homework packets. And it's a writing activity on how you can help the earth and take care of the earth. So this is what it's going to look like. And it says, I can take care of the earth by. So we just learned lots of things about how we can take care of the earth. So let's do this activity. Let's aim for, let's try 3 things that we can do to help the earth. So let's start with the first one. So let's say, should we say, what's one thing that we can do? Let's look at our pictures. So one thing that we had was turn off the lights. That's a really good one. So we can say, I can take care of the earth by turning off the lights. So I can take care of the earth by turning off the lights. Remember, we have our capital at the beginning of the sentence, and we have a period at the end. And maybe your mom and dad already tell you to turn off the lights. I know I'm always telling my kids, turn off the lights, because they'll run from the room to the playroom to the kitchen and they turn all of the lights on, but we don't need those lights. If we're not in that room, we don't need those lights. Okay, so another thing that we could do is turn the tap off when we're brushing our teeth. So let's go with I. I can turn the tap off when I brush my teeth. capital. By turning the tap off when you brush your teeth, you're conserving water. And another thing we can do is we can put, what can we do? We can put things in the recycling. Okay, so I can put paper, glass, and plastic in the recycling. Again, my period and my capital. So those are 3 things that you could do to help the environment. If you can come up with more, you can come up with more. Okay, my friends, let's read it. I can take care of the earth by turning off the lights. I can turn the tap off when I brush my teeth. I can put paper, glass, and plastic into the recycling. Those are some fantastic things that you could do. And that would be a good sample of a writing piece for this, for Earth Day. Okay, the last thing that I want to talk about is some fun activities that you could do for Earth Day. So I challenged my kids at home to make an Earth Day craft. And what we did is, because we didn't want to make more garbage, I went to my recycling bin and I took out different things that I normally would have. So this I had in there, it's from coffee, getting coffee. This was a paper towel tube that I had in there. I had these cups that we were throwing out, so we can reuse those. I had this, which was a container for some raspberries. So all of those things we used. And my kids, they made creations. So they made robots. My husband took them to work, so I don't have them to show you, sorry. But they made robots. They made a little car. They made a structure. So there's lots of different things that you can do to make it out of this, to make art. So that's my challenge for you for the week. I want you to go and get stuff from your recycling or stuff you have laying around the house. You could use maybe old toys that you don't use anymore. Maybe you have some can, maybe you have some string, maybe you have, I want you to find stuff that you have around the house already laying around, and I want you to make a structure or a robot or a car. Make something out of reusable materials. Okay, friends? All right, my guys, this is it for this week. I've also put up a science experiment that I did with my son Halen, and it's showing the effects of pollution on the earth. It's actually really cool. So that video is attached as well. So make sure to watch that. And I hope you guys have a fantastic week and a good weekend. And I will see you on Monday with some more videos from our guest teachers. Okay, guys? Take care. Happy Earth Day.